Hello again, EDF friends. On this video I want to show you all the weapons and items you receive for finding all of the hidden drones in Earth Defense Force Iron Rain. If you haven't seen my video, I actually have a video that shows you all the locations of the drones, but this one I want to show you what is actually dropped. Before I get started, let me show you briefly the symbols. You get excuse me, you get 55 symbols that you can decorate your PA gear with. When you find on each of the levels. So let me go ahead and show those first here. And then I'll just go on from there. So it's pretty interesting symbols. Death proof. Earth Defense Force. Dog eat dog. I love scorpions. I can relate to that. What is that? Frost bear, interesting. And that one, the last one, the best one. Say the best for last. Alright, so those are the symbols you get after you get the drones in each of the different levels. And then you also have customization as well. Let me show that briefly really quick here. Under equipment, no, under customize. You get, this is, once you find 53 out of the 55, you unlock the ninja suit, which I'll show here for upper body and lower body. BIOS, there it is. Sorry, ninja suit. I passed it. Interesting. Yeah, these are the ninja suits you get. You get an upper and lower body once you find, like I said, the 53 out of the 55 drones. So different colors here. They cost $11,250. And then there's lower body part as well. Pretty cool. Be good on Prowl Rider, I think. Alright, so those are the outfits. I just want to do that since I was here. Now let's go in and show the weapons. Like I was saying, the weapons start out pretty tame. And nothing too special, but they definitely get more interesting as you go on. And there are some unique weapons that are only found in these secret drones that aren't in the game any other way, so that's pretty cool. I may go out into the actual world and show a few actually fighting, but I'm going to use this here to show some of the less interesting ones.
Yo, what you looking for?
So, the first one you get, which is you unlock after the first drone, is a energy thrower. Let me sort these. Alright, the first one you get is the nice thing about this game, kind of like Insect Armageddon, is they make you sound foolish when you're trying to say these words out loud. So that's something that's pretty nice in this game. It's the Catalunica energy thrower. So this thing inflicts flame damage, low damage, penetrates 2 targets, average range. If you're just starting out the game, it's not a bad idea to find a few drones because these weapons are pretty decent, for early on at least, because I love these energy throwers. So let's take this one. It's just not much different compared to the other ones. There's other ones that are the fire ones as well. Some inflict low damage and have more range, and some inflict higher damage and have a lot lower range. So, but anyway, this thing doesn't have a. It's a quick reload, but doesn't have a recharge ability. And then the other one you get, the second one you get for 3 drones, is another energy thrower. It's, which one is it? This one, the Gaugamela. And this one doesn't do any elemental damage, but it's more of just a damage dealing flamethrower. 70 meter range, 5-second reload. Let's just show these really quickly here. These things look super cool. I hope that the future mainline EDF series learn from these energy throwers and actually make some cool ones, because they're actually useful in this game compared to EDF 5 and 4. But yeah, I love the energy throwers. They're pretty good. Decent reload. All right, and then this one is just a energy thrower. It doesn't afflict any elements. So nothing too special with these. Let me reload this. Okay. Now, where's this drone at? Alright, now the next one you receive after 5 drones found is the Corinth energy thrower, which is... I love these. I love the energy throwers that stun enemies. They're very, very strong. Very, very good. It's got a decently quick reload. Nothing too special. 90-meter range isn't bad for a flamethrower. Alright, and then the next one you find after 7 drones is a laser cannon called the Nile 1. Laser cannon. Where are you? There's so many weapon types. Alright, the Nile 1. So this thing is, let's see, power increases the longer you fire, cannot move, well, that's normal. Penetrates your enemies, and rechargeability. So nothing too special necessarily. Just one of those just one of the laser cans that just, you stand still, it does a lot of damage. And it gets stronger the longer you hold down the trigger. So first of all, here's the shock energy thrower. This thing is definitely worth getting for early on if you're just starting the game. You get it after, what, only 5 drones found, and you can find 3 in the practice area, so. But I love how it shocks enemies and stuns them, and it's just very, very strong, especially on like robots and stuff. It just keeps them from being able to move or do anything. And a decently quick reload too. And then here's the Nile. Just like the normal, these things get stronger the longer you hold the trigger, but you can't move while you're firing them though. And it does recharge in the background. Like typically, that's what most of these do anyway. So, all right, nothing too special yet. Let's go back here. All right, next weapon. This one you find after 9 drones found. It's called the Jester railgun. It's right here. This is one of those where it has different elements based on how long you charge it. It has ice, electricity, or fire based on the charge you have. It's quick reload time, small ammo like usual, nothing too special. And then after 11 drones you get the Sonic Pile Pre-Prod railgun. Nice name there. Railgun. Here we go, Sonic Pile Pre-Prod. Penetrates your enemies. Nothing too special. Just a normal railgun, pretty much. Let's go ahead and take that as well. Alright, so here's the Jester. You can charge it with 1 shot, and it does ice. Charge it 2nd shot. Does like electric, stun, and then charges the 3rd shot, and it does fire. And each of these elements can be used on different enemy types, and they each have their own strengths and weaknesses, so it can be useful for that. But there's higher level versions of something like this as well. So nothing too special. And then the Sonic Pile Pre-Prod. This thing fires by itself. I'm just holding the trigger down. Actually, what is the... Okay. Let's see if it had I had a scope on it or not. Quick reload on this thing though. It does shoot through targets, but it's a good low level thing, but you do have to find a decent amount to get this, so I don't know how worth it is. Alright, let's go on to the next weapons. Let's see. So after 13 drones, you get the Rapid Fire Laser Chandra satellite weapon. So I do like these weapons. This thing is interesting. It has a recharge ability. It's low damage, 53 damage, but it shoots 8 a second, and good range, good ammo. But this is kind of a cool weapon. There is a higher level version of it, but actually 2 higher level versions of it. But pretty interesting low-level weapon. Let me take that here. And then after 15 drones, you find the Catalunica Rev energy thrower, which is... let's find this. Yeah, a lot of energy throwers are actually found through drones, which is interesting. The Rev. This is the flames one. It has has low flame damage, but has a decent range. Penetrates through enemies. Recharge ability. All right, let's take those out. So here's the rapid fire thing.
Request for field support acknowledged. Initiating satellite laser.
So you can guide this thing. And you can just set it and forget it, pretty much. It does recharge in the background, which is nice. But yeah, those are kind of cool weapons. I don't mind them. And then here's the flamethrower. Pretty much just a little bit better version than the first one that we saw here. Yeah, pretty interesting. Or nothing, rather nothing too interesting yet. But we'll get there, we'll get there. Alright, next. Now after 17 drones, you get the Corinth LMI energy thrower, which is Corinth LMI. This is a stun one. Good range, 150 meter range, but you cannot move while firing. That's something unique about this one, but it has a ridiculous range. Quick reload, so let's try that here. And then next one is after 19 drones, you get the Gaugamela Rev energy thrower. So I should know which direction to go by now, but I don't. Gaugamela Rev, here we go. One of those non-elemental ones, 90 meter range, 2-second reload, pretty quick reload, but yeah, nothing too special yet. So this is the Corinth LMI. You can't move while you fire it, but has a very good range, good at stunning. So that's kind of interesting, I guess, because most of these don't have that good a range, especially early on with their levels. But as you can see, that shock is applied to the enemy for a decent amount of time. Like, as you can see, it says a short amount of time, but let me try and get. Why isn't it showing the shock now? There we go. I mean, it's over 5 seconds. That's pretty crazy. It's like 10 seconds. Very, 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 the shock ones are very good. And then here's the, Gaugamela Rev. Nothing too special. Just a normal thrower, energy thrower. Alright. Now let's go ahead and go to the next weapon. Alright, next is a laser rifle called the OPX Aisha. What is it? Oh, laser rifle. Laser cannon. I probably passed it already. There it is, laser rifle. And it is this one right here. Alright, power increases the longer you fire, has a recharge ability, 6-second reload time, 5 a second, 36 times 5. Nothing too special necessarily. And then the next one you get after 23 is another laser rifle called the OPX C2 Charlotte. Laser cannon, laser rifle should be this way. Right here, the C2 Charlotte. This is a 3-way firing. Power increases the longer you fire, recharge ability, and for a second. Alright, let's check these out. This one's a burst fire, which I don't really care for burst fire, but as you can see, it gets a larger projectile the longer you fire it. And it recharges pretty quickly, as you can see, very quickly. And this one is more of a wide pattern, but smaller magazine. And this one also recharges, but slower. Alright, still nothing too special yet. Let's go back here. Alright, on to... Now here's a new weapon type. It's under special weapons. It's called a glue launcher. This is after 25 drones found. Yeah, glue launcher here. This thing does no damage. Has 100 shots, 10 per second, 1.5 second reload, 90-meter range. But it slows down enemies. So I'm actually going to take this one out into the actual world to show it off. And then after 27 drones found, you get a blaster gun laser rifle. Let's take that as well. Blaster gun. There's nothing too special about this one necessarily. It's just a lower level version of some of the higher blaster guns. But they're interesting in that they actually do blast damage, which is kind of cool. This only has a 1 meter blast damage, but power increases the longer you fire. Rechargeability 62 times 4 a second. And that's compared to 107 times 4 meter blast rechargeability. So it's just a lower level version, nothing too special. So let's here's the blaster gun though. I like this weapon a lot. It's kind of cool. It's got a blast range and it's just a interesting weapon. I like how it recharges in the background relatively quickly as well. And here's the here's the poop launcher, as I like to call it. It slows down enemies, and kind of interesting actually. Let's take this out and show how much it actually slows enemies down. I'm also going to change the blaster gun out for the next weapon, which is after 29 drones, you get the Ragnarok laser cannon, which shoots tornadoes. So I want to see this. I haven't seen this one yet. I haven't seen any of these actually. I was wanting to show this live. So it's a laser cannon. I passed laser cannons, didn't I? Here we go. The Ragnarok. Down here. As you can see, it does a lot of damage. 12,000 damage. You only get 4 shots. 40 meter range. However, I think it shoots further based on how long you charge it. Yeah. Holding down the trigger for longer creates a larger tornado. So let's give this a try. That sounds interesting. You only get 4 shots, but like I said, it does so much damage. 12,000 damage for a D weapon. So let's take a mission out here. Alright, I'm playing on disaster. How this feels. Let's go ahead and use this poo launcher here.
This mission's objective is to destroy the giant creature's nest.
Wow, that really slows them down. It's like the stun actually.
Disperse and search.
So you just... Looks like it just needs one or two shots to get on enemy to slow them down.
But you got my back anyway, don't you, Brenda, baby?
So it's like the stun pretty much, because the stun slows them down too.
I am so scared.
Interesting.
Mike, Brenda. Yes, sir. We have our mission. Save your quarreling for another
Alright,
time.
and then here's the Ragnarok. Charges up kind of slowly. You can't move though. Oh my goodness. That's cool. Oh my goodness, that's very cool.
Where are you going, closer? That's outside the field of battle.
Look at that, it's just, it does damage too, right? It said the 12,000 damage. Let's try the first one, because it should be a smaller tornado. Why isn't it charging? Oh, because this one's... No, because that one's still out, I guess. Oh, look at that. That is cool. Yeah, very unique weapon. Let's go over to the nest and fire this baby. Can I move? You can't fire another one while the first tornado's out, though.
Nest spotted. Initiating attacks.
Roger that, Brenda.
Yeah, you can't fire it while it's like the other ones. You can't fire it while it's you're charging it.
This is an old Campbell. Commander.
See if I can get in a good spot and shoot this tornado somewhere.
Do you remember me? Sorry. Closer is your code name.
Alright, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fly up really high so I can have a chance to charge it on the way down.
I'm Maeve, an operator based at the EDF North American headquarters. You may already have heard, but closer. You have been
That is very
assigned to
cool.
Blast, a mobile unit that works directly under the commander.
Wow, that is very cool.
Energy core locking down.
No! Closer!
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Come on, closer!
It didn't seem like it was doing damage. Let me try it one more time just to see if I can. It seemed like it said 12,000 damage, but it seemed like the enemies weren't dying from it. I don't know. Maybe it's the actual projectile. When those hit, it's like 4,000, and then because it's 4,000 times 3, and then the rest of it is just a area of effect, where it'll slow enemies down when they walk into it, or it'll push them into the air.
This mission's objective
I need to
is
actually
destroy
fly
the
in the
giant
air
creature's
here
nest.
when I shoot this.
Roger. Everyone, disperse and search.
Yeah, it does damage on the impact, and then after that, it's just used for
Mike, don't go out
protecting.
alone.
But you got my back anyway.
Doesn't hurt you when you fly into it. So yeah, pretty interesting.
Into a beehive.
Very cool. I mean, I like how they make. There's a lot of unique weapons in this game. Which
We have our mission. Save your quarreling.
look at
for
that.
another
That's so
time.
good.
Cooling terminal here.
That's right. I can't fire while that one's going. Okay. Well, let's go back now. All right, we're back. Let me do the second one really quick here. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so that was 29. So now when you get 31 drones, you get the Sonic Pile Railgun.
I'll deliver anything with a single click.
So, Sonic, let me sort these again. Sonic Pile Railgun. Okay, so this thing is penetrates 2 targets, 388 damage, quick reload time, good range. And these things, they don't really tell you the accurate damage because the longer you charge them, the more damage they do, I believe. So let's take one of those, Sonic Pile, and then the next one, 33, is a unique weapon. It's called the Soul Seeker Railgun. So this is a homing railgun. So that's pretty cool. That's the only homing railgun that I know of. Let's see. Soul Seeker does a decent amount of damage, 5,940 damage. It has a recharge ability, which is cool. 3 shots, and it shoots all 3 at once. But it stuns you when you fire it too. But that's a very unique weapon and pretty decent for its low level. I think this could be a decent weapon and useful. So let's take a look at this one. All right, so it starts out on the mission not fully loaded, so that's interesting. Here's a Sonic Pile. It fires by itself once it charges. Like it doesn't like stop, or I'm not letting go of the trigger to fire it, it's firing by itself, but actually I don't think this one actually increases the damage at the longer it fires. I think this one just to 500 some damage. But here's the Soul Seeker.
Warning. Abnormal voltage detected.
Okay, that's what the stun means. I mean, that could be decent. I mean, 2,000 damage homing shot. I mean, it does knock you down, but if you're flying in the air or something, it's not a huge deal. Let's see what the homing actually is, the accuracy of it. Soul Seeker. A homing, that's pretty good. Stuns you when fires, and it shoots 1980 times 3 shots. Let's try that again. Fly up high and do it.
Warning.
It's an
Abnormal
instant
voltage
shot
detected.
too. You can't recover from it. Like you can't like do a quick recovery, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's unique. It's interesting. It could be useful for some missions. I mean, so what if you get knocked down once in a while here when you fire it? But it does recharge in the background, which is nice. So you can use it when you need it. That's a decent amount of damage. All right, on to the next one. The next one is, after 35 drones found, you get a Viola railgun right here. This thing I was testing out, and it seems like it does more than the 1,600 damage that my sniper rifle is doing when it's fully charged. So It shoots through targets as well, so it's pretty decent strength and quick reload. So give that a try here. And then another after 37, you get the Archimedes railgun, which is a bouncing railgun. This is interesting, probably underground, in that it shoots through enemies in addition to the fact that it bounces off walls, so it could be decent for that. But quick reload, decent range. Let's try that. Alright, so here's the Viola one. You can fly while you're charging this one, and the longer you charge it, the more damage it does. It even says that, and then penetrates 2 targets. So decent. It's a decent weapon for its level, or for its rating. And then here's the one that bounces off walls. Shoots 2 targets and bounces off walls. So, probably not too useful above ground, but it is nice, something that shoots 2 targets. And unfortunately, the underground missions aren't too great in this game, so it's not going to be too useful underground. I mean, you can use it underground, but the missions aren't really that difficult underground. So, it's different, but it's not necessarily anything special yet. Alright, now let's go to 39. After 39, you start getting to sea weapons here. And this is a unique weapon. It's a minigun. It's called a photon javelin. And this thing shoots 1 large shot, 1 a second. Photon javelin right here. Has a recharge ability, which is cool. And it shoots 1 shot of 1,000 damage, 5 ammo, and 1 per second. And it mentions something about, power enough to shoot through enemies. It doesn't say that up top, so it sounds like it shoots through enemies. What was the range on that thing as well? So it's a 90-meter range, so it's more like a close-range fighting. We'll see how fast it spins up. And then the next weapon is after 42 drones found. It's called a Super Chainsaw Special Weapon. So this is another unique weapon. It's an actual chainsaw. Now, it's only a 2-meter range. The damage is 63 times 20. Quick reload, 5-second reload, and it has ammunition. So let's give this a try. First of all, let's use this thing. Yeah, this thing spins up fast. It doesn't slow down your aim, which is nice. Do you want to not... I think you want to not overheat that thing. We'll try that out. But first of all, here's a chainsaw. This slows down your aim, but looks like it's something you just fly into enemies with. I need to not overheat these weapons though. So this one, let's see how fast it recharges. So stop firing, and yeah, it charges up decently fine. This one charges really fast, so yeah, don't overheat the chainsaw. But that's kind of interesting. It's an actual chainsaw weapon. I kind of like that. I don't mind that. That's pretty cool. It'd be good for, like, wing diver or a jet lifter or a prowl rider, probably. It revs up instantly, so that's pretty cool. This photon thing isn't bad. I think this could be useful. Shoots through targets, good close range weapon, very strong. And you have to let it charge in the background, but yeah, pretty interesting. I like that. So now we're starting to get to some interesting, unique weapons. That's probably worth the grind to get the items. All right, now let's check the damage on that again. The Super Chainsaw. So 6 times 2 is 1,200 damage a second. That's decent damage per second for a C weapon, and the other one was 1,000 per second. So that's pretty decent. Alright, I can see myself using those weapons. Alright, now on to the next weapon tier. Alright, so we're at 45 drones. You get a unique missile launcher. Let's go here. So it's called the Anti-Proton Cloud. So it doesn't reload, but you have a lot of shots. It has 52 shots of 1,000 damage. Homing is a B. So what this weapon does is it says missiles fired from this weapon take the form of a cloud-like projectiles consisting of antiprotons generating a large particle accelerator. While in this state, the cloud missiles will not interact with normal matter, which allows them to pass through all barriers and surfaces. So it shoots through walls and buildings. But once the projectiles reach the enemy, they react to the energy gems inside the body, unbinding the protons, releasing isolated form, and they annihilate the surrounding area. So this is good for, you know, shooting through buildings and so forth. Let's see, what was the range on the missile launcher? It has a 500-meter range, 2 shots per second. It does lock onto multiple targets as well, which I'll show here. But that's a very unique weapon. I see it's kind of decent. 1,000 damage is not too bad. And that's something interesting. And then the next one is the first B weapon, which is after 48 drones. It's another Photon Javelin Alpha minigun. So let's take a look at this thing. Photon Javelin Alpha minigun. So this thing does twice the damage, 1900 damage. Good range now. It has a 110-meter range. The ammo's 10 instead of 5. And still shoots 1 per second, so let's give that a try. Alright, so let me go and try and shoot through a building here. See if we can lock onto these targets. I'm assuming we can lock on them even though they're just ant dummies. But as you can see, you can do multiple shots onto each target, and I can do 6 lock-ons. And as you can see, it shoots through buildings, and then it lands and hits the enemy, and then so that's a pretty cool weapon. I think it could be useful on missions with a lot of buildings. And here's the Proton Alpha. This thing could be decent. I think this could be decent. I mean, it has. Oh, it blows up buildings too. Wow. It has a recharge ability, which I like, because it allows you to, you know, switch to other weapon and do something else while you're waiting for that thing to recharge. As you can see, you can lock into all on one target if you want to. And decently accurate homing, so not too bad. I like this. I like both these weapons. I think these could both be useful. Yeah, it's crazy. You can blow up buildings with this thing. That's awesome. But yeah, good range, doesn't slow you down, quick fire up time. And yeah, excuse me, you only can take a few shots, like, you know, 9 shots before you have to reload it, but I mean, with that damage, it's probably not a big deal, so yeah, these weapons are starting to get pretty good now. And you can fly out to sing while you're firing as well, you're not like stuck on the ground or anything. You just can't reload this thing, unfortunately. Alright. Now let's go back here and go to the next one. Alright, now we're on to after 52 drones, you get another glue launcher. It's called the Glue Launcher Ultra special weapon here. And the difference between these is this one has, they're both no damage. So this has 70 ammo, this one has 100 ammo. This one shoots 10 per second versus 10 per second. 3-second reload, 1.5-second reload. So the only benefit is this one is the range. This one has a better range. That's why it's a little bit worse stats everywhere else. Let's take that. And then after 53 upgrades, I already showed that you get the ninja suit. And then 54 upgrades, you get another Photon Javelin V minigun. So let's take a look. This is the first A weapon, which is right here. This thing does 8,000 damage. Only has 1 shot, recharge ability, and 70-meter firing range. Alright, it says long reload time. Firing it causes user energy to overheat. Only those willing to put their lives on the line should use this weapon. Oh, it causes uses energy when firing. Oh, okay. Does it overheat you, really? Let's try that out. Alright, here's the glue launcher. It does say more range, but you still have to aim this thing up pretty high to get that range, it seems. Yeah, interesting weapon. I'm not sure how useful this thing would be. I mean, it would slow down enemies, but at the same time, you could take electric energy thrower and do the same thing and do damage at the same time. So I think that for that reason, this thing isn't quite as valuable. I was hoping to be like a bigger blast where it'd be easier to paint people with it. I mean, it still doesn't take much to stun them, but yeah. So here we go. I have full energy. I'm gonna fire this thing. Yeah, it overheats your PA gear. Wow, interesting. That's kind of a big deal, actually. You can fire it again even after you... Okay, and it still overheats you. Okay, I see. I want to know is if you overcharge it, does it still overheat you? Let's try that out.
Complete. Overdrive activated.
No, it does not. Okay, so that's one way to get around it. Just use it while you're overcharging as a trooper. And that's a lot of damage. Let's see what happens after I'm done with overcharge if I'm overheated instantly because of all the times I've shot this thing. I'm gonna stop firing it now. Okay, it does not. Okay, it doesn't overheat you when you're done, so that's nice to know. I mean, that is a lot of damage, though. I mean, oops, let me go back to this thing. To be fair, I mean, having it to where it wouldn't overheat you with 8,000 damage with that range could probably be broken. I guess that's why they balanced it out. So, yeah, 8,000 damage, one shot. Only 70-meter range, though, but pretty interesting. 7-second reload. Alright, so, and then the last weapon, after 55, you get the Super Chainsaw EDF spec special weapon. So let's take that out. Super EDF Chainsaw. This thing does 184 times 20, so what is that? 4,000, close to 4,000 a second. Good magazine and rechargeability, so this is a good chainsaw. Let's see, do I want to take something else out to show? I guess I could take that cloud. The cloud weapon's the only thing I really want to see, I think, out in the open. So let me take a missile launcher here. And we'll go out into the actual level and try this out. Anti-proton cloud, yeah. Alright. First let me check this out really quick. Oh yeah, this thing is never going to run out. Look at that. Yeah, it recharges so fast. It's going to be a hard time to overheat this chainsaw. What a unique weapon, though. I like it. It's a very cool weapon. Alright, let's try it. Alright, let's give this a try. I don't have the most health yet. I haven't really farmed my health, but this is on disaster difficulty. First of all, let's see if we can
This mission's objective is
use
to
this
destroy
weapon
the giant
here.
creature's nest.
These bugs making nests again? I'll burn them all to the ground.
Mike, don't go out alone.
But you got my back anyway.
Okay, this
don't
isn't
you,
working very
President?
well right now.
I'll make your back into a beehive.
It melts anything it touches. It's pretty good.
Mike, Brenda,
It's a little weird getting used to the fact that you kind of your aim gets slowed down when you get hit or when you use it. A little bit longer range would have been nice, but I think this thing could be useful. Takes a little getting used to it, but it's definitely strong. Definitely strong. Let's see if we can lock onto these enemies through buildings here. It's a very unique idea. I like that. That's a cool weapon. Yeah, this chainsaw I think could be useful as well. I really like it. It's definitely gonna take a little getting used to, but I think it's. Oh my goodness! I just chainsaw Tommy. I mean, you have to go in, and it's a little dangerous, but I think on certain enemy types you could really destroy them really fast.
we've got ants over here.
Come here, yeah. You can rev that thing up very fast. Let's see if we can kill this hive really quick with this chainsaw. See how fast it is before we stop.
It's too much.
Nest spotted. Initiating attacks.
Roger that, Brenda. Be thorough.
Oh my goodness.
To a nest, just as they do to a rotting tree.
Oh wow, it's down already. Okay, I just got bodied. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, it seems pretty strong. You just have to be careful with it. But yeah, pretty cool. Alright, let's quit here. But yeah, those are all the weapons. They don't really get interesting until about the mid-range, but I think the let's see. Let's go over really quickly the ones I think that are useful. Well, like I said, the early energy throwers aren't bad if you're just starting the game out. It's probably worth getting a few drones just to get them because they're good.
Welcome
Energy
to
throwers
the
are very good in
EDF
this game.
Online weapon shop.
Let's sort these again. But nothing too special for people that have already played the game for a while. I do. Let's see what else is good. Glue launcher I don't think would be too useful. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like I said, because the energy thrower, the shock ones just outclasses it. I think the Ragnarok tornado thrower is pretty cool. I think that could be useful. Which is the Ragnarok is at 29 drones. Also the Soul Seeker level 33 homing could be interesting. I think that could be decent, even though it does knock you to the ground. I think the photon javelins are pretty good. I like the second one. I mean the first one's fine too, the C one, but which is 39 drones. But I think 39 drones is worth going for. I think 42 is worth going for the first chainsaw. I think 45 is worth going for the missile launcher, the cloud missile launcher. The 48 drones is worth going for the minigun, the second photon javelin. The glue launcher, not too good. And then the 54 photon javelin, I don't know, I could see it being good if you overcharge, but I don't know how useful that thing is. And then 55, the super chainsaw, which is a better version of the, let me see what the difference in damage was for the chainsaws, if it's worth going for 55 drones. 184 times 20 versus 60 times 20, so yeah, quite a bit more damage. That's just if you think it's worth the grind, but yeah, those are all the weapons, and I just wanted to show them to you since I did the video yesterday on the drone locations. So yeah, I hope this was helpful to you. If you found it helpful, please hit the thumbs up, and remember, EDF doesn't leave a man behind, ever. And if you're interested in ways to support the channel, please consider hitting the join button next to the subscribe button, or watching a few ads, or sharing the channel with someone that does help financially. It's very much appreciated. Thanks a lot. Hope to see you in the next